Welcome, everybody, to the PK Sportscast. I'm your host, Johnny C., here with a new face today. We are welcoming Dave for the first time, and along with OG Marengo. How's it going, Dave?
Hey.
I know you're feeling good coming off of two perfect scores last week, and watching the Lions beat the shit out of the Raiders tonight.
Yeah, two perfect scores last week. Was that the most in the league? Was that
so far?
Oh, was it? Okay. How many? Hey, Mango. How many did you have last week?
Fuck you, Dave. I had one. Okay, I had one. Fuck you, Dave.
One ain't nothing to shake.
Just to recap all of last week. You've been on the show for all of 30 seconds, and fuck you, Dave.
Dave saw how you outroed last week. That's what happened.
Yep.
He came with the heat instantly. He came with the heat instantly.
That's all right. I'm telling you, I'm going to be like 0 for 16 the next week, so don't worry about it.
Hey,
shit, I'm surprised I'm even on the freaking board. So, dude, and I'm actually, I jumped up to at least I'm on the podium right now. So, hell yeah.
Holding the bronze, knocked me off the podium, asshole. Well, that's the good thing about this game. You can take a breather for 6 weeks, come in, get a couple perfect scores one week, and you're right back in the game. So, But no, man, it's nice to have you on because we have no Lions fans that are generally on the show. With it being the PK Sportscast, we're all from Kansas, so all but one of us is a Kansas City fan. Fun fact real quick, though. Dave is actually a Parsonian. He is from Parsons, and I found this out recently, and I thought that it was insane. So he is an honorary PK Sportscast member here.
John and I were delivered by the same doctor, like 15 years apart. What are the odds?
That's nuts. That's freaking nuts.
What are the odds?
Small towns, man. Small town Kansas. That's what it is.
I mean, this man's on the East Coast now. Like, I would have never expected it. And he's also wearing that Lions shirt. It's nuts. But
yeah, how'd you become a Lions fan if you're from Parsons?
Oh, I decided that I wanted to have a really tough life. So I was like, the worst sports towns I can think of. Oh, Detroit's been bad for a lot of years. No, my dad's from Michigan, so he moved to Kansas, met my mom, and he just stayed there. So, but I picked up the Detroit sports. My brother, he's in Chiefs and Royals. It's his thing. So
nice. Well, I mean, you did what us Kansas people do. At least at first. You're just like, I have to be a fan of an underdog team. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But I love for the Lions, though.
Yeah.
Well, how are you? So Dave, how are you feeling right now? The only competition you guys really had in your division seemed to be the Vikings making a comeback. But as we all know, Kirk tore his Achilles yesterday. How are you feeling about Detroit making that playoff berth and actually making a run this year?
Like I haven't felt since Barry hung it up.
Oh,
I'm scared. Like this is I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm like, oh god, what? I was lucky. I got to see. I went to the Silver Dome in like 94 or something to see Sanders play. And it was amazing. Like the place was electric. Like they got in fights with Vikings fans. It was amazing. And then, ever since then, it has been just bad. But we had some talent though too. Like I think Stafford's a fucking, he's just this side of a Hall of Famer. Like, no, he's probably not going to get there, but he's a gunslinger, and I love him. Calvin Johnson's the most physically dominant receiver probably to ever play the game of football. Like I still think Jerry Rice was the best to ever do it because what are you gonna say? That guy was amazing, but I think when it comes to matchup problems, you can't match up against Johnson. You can't do it. And yet, so all those years went by. Yeah, all those years went by and we had nothing. And it was just, it was bad. But now it's electric in Detroit. Like they're selling out the stadium. Like Detroit fans are traveling. I don't know. I'm apprehensive, but I will say we're playing some good football in the last 15 games or so.
Okay. All right. And I'm about to get pale ghost face here, but I'm about to just take a look back and see what your playoff predictions were for this season. I want to see how much faith you had in them before the season started. So what do we got here? You had Detroit. You had Detroit as a 2 seed, and you had them beating Dallas in the wild card round and losing by only 2 in a shootout with Philly in the divisional round. Do you still
Sounds about
think
right.
that's you still think that's about right? Or are you feeling more
Yeah.
confident now that Philly looks a little lackluster this year?
No, Philly's tough, man. You don't want to see them in the playoffs. They got a lot of weapons, and I think that's still about right. I think the Lions being so young, I think that you get into a big high profile game situation, and it's gonna be tough for them. But no, I think I still think they're it's like exactly like you said. Now that the Cousins is out, I mean the Packers are in shambles. The Bears might be the worst team in the league. This division's got our name written all over it, and we haven't won the division since I think the most recent Tampa won our division more recently than we did. And I don't know how young you guys are, but that was before the realignment. That was a long time ago. So this is this is crazy.
That was like when the Seahawks were in the AFC West, right? Like
yes. Yep. No, this is wild.
Yeah. No, I mean, at least, I could tell you're a real football fan because you're not just like, yeah, Lions, dude, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to destroy everybody. You're like, spoken like a true underdog. You're like, I'm happy with the team. We're going to make it to the divisional round. That's how we felt 10 years ago.
NFC's got some tough teams, man. Like I talk a lot of shit on Dallas, but I mean, you catch Dallas on the wrong day, they will fuck you up. And
that's such a hit or miss team.
Yeah, they really are. Like any given Sunday with them, toss a coin. I still think San Fran is rough, even though they lost 3 in a row. I don't want to play them ever. And Philly's always tough. And then you got we got beat by Seattle this year already. I don't want to play Seattle again.
Yeah, they're looking better than I expected too. Marengo, what you thinking about Detroit, man? After what we've seen this year, is it about what you expect, or you think they're gonna make a run?
I mean, like I said, man, at the beginning of the year, like I'm really high on Detroit. I completely agree, actually, with what Dave was saying. I think when you look at the NFC, it's got 2 top teams, right? You got Philadelphia and San Francisco. And then you've got like 5 really, really good teams, but they're all toss-up teams. You never know who's going to pull it out. And I put Detroit within that 5 right now, exactly from what you said, just because they're very young. They've got a good quarterback in Jared Goff, who I think people really underrate Jared Goff. He's a damn good quarterback. He was great in LA. I think he's a good system quarterback for Detroit. And honestly, the kid looks freaking hungry when he's out there. Like, I don't know if you see his attitude when he's playing, but he's all in on Detroit right now. So yeah, I had Detroit finishing. Yeah, dude, he's always locked in. And that's big, especially Detroit. Detroit's one of those towns that just grinds with its team no matter what anyway. So I'm sure that stadium's electric. I'm sure it's just fired up. I'm sure the whole city of Detroit's fired up. I think they might need to calm it down a little bit because I have seen some posts about Detroit like hanging banners and all kinds of craziness. Like they've got some teams to go through. I do think they will potentially be a wild card team now with Minnesota and Kirk going out. I mean, that's going to be big because they've got, I was just looking him up, Jaron Hall. I don't even know who the hell this kid is, out of BYU, it looks like. I'm sure he was great in college. I honestly have no idea who he is. So we'll see how he fits into their system. We'll see how he fits into their system.
Who's under Jaron Hall? What?
But people said the same shit about Tom Brady. So
Yeah,
that's a great point.
But I just to finish it off, I think Detroit's one of those teams that they could make a late season run, but they're going to run into a buzzsaw in the playoffs, and I don't think they're going to make it. If they make it past the wild card, I'd be really surprised this year. But they're a team to watch in the coming years for sure. They're a hell of a football team.
I think it depends on who they end up seeing. I really do. I think the reason I like Dave's prediction on the playoffs is because he's like, okay, we run into Philly, all right, it stops here, right? You know what I mean? Like if they
right.
if they're the 7th seed and their wild card round ends up being Philly or San Fran, sure, maybe not as confident in it, but if they pull out the Like, it's the NFC, dude. If they can manage to get 5th seed, their first round's going to be New Orleans or Tampa Bay or Atlanta. I feel a lot more confident there.
Yeah.
Right. I think they win a wild card easy in that sense. And I think that any given Sunday they could. We've seen San Francisco is human over the last 3 weeks. They cannot win a game in October. But yeah, am I putting my money on it? I don't know if that would be wise.
Right.
Honestly, the way my betting has been going this year, I don't think anyone wants me to make.
Well, let me ask you that. What did you have Detroit finishing? What do you have them finishing right now? Yeah, what did you have them finishing in your predictions?
Dave's gonna be mad at me for this. Here comes the ghost.
Because I had them 9-8, and honestly, I think that was light. I think they're gonna get a couple more wins.
I know for a fact they're going to do better than what I had them.
Yeah,
I had
Detroit.
I did better than I thought. I have Detroit 9-8 as a 7 seed, and
we had the same. Oh no, that's yours.
Well, I had a very stupid call on here though. I had them lining up with Minnesota in the first round and losing to 2 seed Minnesota.
2 seed, come on, man.
Yeah, they're not going to be a fucking 2 seed, bro. They're not even going to make the playoffs, probably. Marengo, you had Detroit, a 3 seed, 12-5 winning the division. You're probably more in line than I am.
I told you, man, I've been high on Detroit.
And you had Detroit beating Seattle in the first round. You have Detroit in the conference final losing to Philly.
I'm looking, dude. I was at looking at the wrong fucking playoffs to be completely
honest. Yeah, you're looking at mine. So you guys agree, and I think I also agree with you guys that the ball stops at Philly. That's really what it is like we're not going to put money that they're going to beat Philly, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I think that Detroit is a lot like. I'm going to get a lot of shit for this one. I'm going to tell you right now already. I'm going to play devil's advocate, though. I think that Detroit is a lot like Miami in the sense that they're fun to watch, electric offense. But let's take a look at some things. And this is going to be a perfect transition into talking about the Chiefs because we play Miami this week. Detroit came out hot. They beat Kansas City in week 1. And we'll talk more about this later, I think the Chiefs don't look all that great this year. They're not the Chiefs of last year by any means. But Detroit came out and beat us fair and square week 1. They lost to Seattle the next week. And here's who they've beaten since. Atlanta, Green Bay, Carolina, Tampa Bay. And then they lost by fucking 32 points to Baltimore. I like Detroit. I really do. Especially back when the Chiefs sucked. I feel like I made friends with Detroit fans all the time because we all just were like suffering together. But, the best team on this list that you've beaten, other than a week 1 1-point game against the Chiefs that Kadarius Toney gave you 10 points out of his own pocket, you beat Atlanta. So I don't know, man. We're going to have to see what happens.
No, Tampa's all right.
And also, Baltimore is not Baltimore is one of the best teams in the freaking NFL right now.
Okay, yeah. but Tampa's not even a 500 team right now. Tampa Bay started off 3-1, and they started off 3-1, and they can't win a game since. So
yeah, I think once you get to the point where you're matching up against the best of the best, and I don't like Baltimore all that much, but man, they always tend to field a really good squad. Like no matter what it is, like some years it's like, well, our defense isn't that good this year, but this is the year that Lamar goes off, and vice versa. Yep. You know, yeah, they're always going to be consistent. So the fact that they humbled us quite a bit, we needed that. Like the media was going out of control. They were just like, going nuts on Detroit. Hell, the preseason media on Detroit was out of control.
I got Baltimore going to the chip this year, so like I'm high on Baltimore, and the fact that they smacked Detroit like that, and I have Detroit going out in the fucking conference game, I guess, but still, man, like it's a team going to the chip compared to Detroit. Like, I think they should have put up a better fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm still high on Detroit. I just think they had a really bad freaking day. But so did a lot of other teams around the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Chiefs lost to somebody the other day, wasn't it?
All right, fine. We can make this transition if you really want to, Dave. But
I'll
tell you what. I'll tell you what.
That's a nice segue, man. You got to pay me for that segue.
I'll tell you what. I will admit this. If the Chiefs played the way that they did against the Broncos yesterday, we would have lost way worse to Baltimore. Way worse than Detroit did. Like, let's go ahead and get into it. You know what? Here we go.
He's got notes, ladies and gentlemen. He's got
notes. I know I came on here the last 2 weeks and I talked big shit on the Broncos. So you know what, Broncos fans, I know you guys watch this. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this for you guys. All right, here we go. It's the last time we get to see this. This is the last time. Days since the Broncos beat the Chiefs. Here we go. There we go, guys. That's for you. But I'll tell you what. Good. We can say good game, Broncos, but I'm still going to find a way to talk some shit here. The Chiefs were so bad yesterday. That the fact that they only won by 15 and those being garbage time points is just horrendous, dude. I haven't seen a game that bad since Todd Haley was the coach. Like that was just god awful.
That's bold.
That was god awful, dude. And just like I was at the game, froze my ass off to watch this game. It was a 5-point game coming out of halftime, and start of the fourth quarter. It's still 9-14, and I'll tell you where the pivotal game changer was. McCole Hardman. I'm glad that he's back, especially with Justin Ross being out with a felony, not an injury, a felony. Yes, McCole Hardman. Don't try to catch a punt on a wet, cold day at the 5-yard line. Let that shit go, dude. You're fair catching on the 5. You might as well give it a chance to be a touchback. What the hell are you doing? Credit to him because he came out after the game and he took full responsibility, said he got greedy, said he shouldn't have done it, so it's whatever. But, dude, that cost us the game. It was a 5-point game in the fourth quarter. With us playing as bad as we were, we still had a chance to win that game. And then you gave the ball to the Broncos at the 8-yard line. They throw a touchdown 2 plays later. Now all of a sudden it's a 12-point game. And a follow-up to that is we march down the field. We're on the Broncos 30, 35-yard line on 4th and 2. Mahomes had a bad day. He's got a wide open check down, get the first down and keep chains moving. This dude throws a deep pass to Sky Moore, whatever his name is, and hit beautiful pass. It was a beautiful pass. I'll give him that. But you know that this man can't catch. This man had 1 touchdown last year, and it was a wide open check down pass in the Super Bowl. That was his only touchdown all year last year. This man can't catch a cold, and it was 20 degrees yesterday. That man can't. This man could have been. All right, I'm not even going to go there. I'm just saying he couldn't catch the flu from Mahomes if he tried, bro. I'm just saying, like, he can't catch anything. He's got the same hands as the dude from Happy Gilmore, just running around trying to make shit happen. I can't stand it. And meanwhile, we got Rashee Rice hoping to catch a ball. Like, Rashee Rice should be on every snap. I'm tired of seeing Sky Moore out there lose games for us. So, anyways, million mistakes. We should have won, but we didn't. Good job, Broncos. You broke the streak. We almost hit 3,000 days. As the guy behind me in the stand said, nobody beats us 17 times. That's where we draw the line. All right. Rant over. I had to let that out.
I think you pretty much covered it.
Yeah, nailed it.
I'm sorry.
Nailed it.
I have one more. Andy Reid. Run the fucking ball, dude. Every time that we lose, go back and look at the history of our last 10 losses over the last few years. Every time we lose, we get away from the run. There's no reason on a wet, cold day in a close game that you are not running the ball. We have 3 running backs that are considered starters. If you want to say Clyde's not a starter anymore, because I would agree he's a bust, we still have Jerick McKinnon and Isaiah Pacheco. Run the fucking ball, dude. It's wet and it's cold. People are dropping the ball. MVS is not a number 1 receiver like we needed him to be. He can get 600 yards on the season at best, and he fumbles. We need EB back, dude.
No, I mean, you're right. Especially in a cold, wet game. Like, you got to run the ball. That's exactly what you got to do. And the fact that let's say you don't think that very highly of any of the 3 running backs on the squad. Okay, that's fine. But you put all 3 of them together, then it's fine. you don't always need. Not everybody needs a Derrick Henry, Like, and Mango was talking about how Goff was playing so well. Yeah, Goff might not be like he's not going to be a Dan Marino. He's not a gunslinger. He's not he's not a lot of things. But what he is a guy who can make shit happen if you give him some weapons around him. And that's exactly what it is with, take some of that pressure off Mahomes, run the ball every once in a while, mix it up, play the hot hand. You got 3 guys who can do it. You got options. I just don't know why you're going to force it like 45 times and making Mahomes throw in the cold.
You're saying you fed him IVs all night and he's sick. And I don't know if that was a media play to try to get people to not expect much from him or something, but like, why are you making him throw the ball 45 times? He was running around. He was missing some wide open people. If he was sick, cool. Like, maybe he wasn't thinking straight. I feel that way when I'm sick too, but like, why are you forcing it, man? Sorry. I fully agree with you, man.
Yeah, they were saying Amon-Ra St. Brown's got the flu tonight too, and he's already caught like 8 passes tonight.
He's not a fucking quarterback.
True.
You don't have to read defenses and make last second decisions. You just got to run your routes and make sure you're open. Catch the ball when it's thrown to you. Like, not discrediting wide receivers in the league. Obviously, they're very talented, but quarterback is mentally a very tough position. If you are sick, and it's a wet, cold day, run the fucking ball. Throw some screens.
Yeah.
Well,
I think Kansas City's just we don't have the same attitude we had in the past few years, and it's noticeable by everybody. We get down and we can't pick ourselves back out of a hole, and it's not the KC that we've seen in the last decade, and it's surprising. It's frustrating for everybody. And for God's sakes, we need a receiver to catch a fucking ball. I agree with you. Sky Moore is not the freaking guy and does not need to get that many snaps. And honestly, even when he's in the game, needs to be more of a freaking distraction than a target. Because the kid can't catch a freaking cold at all. I agree. Richie James, honestly, I feel like he could be a bigger part of our offense than Sky Moore could. And Sky should probably be the one on the freaking trade block right now. But anyways, I completely agree with what you said. I think you hit the nail right on the head. Casey's got to get their shit together. We got a rough road ahead with Miami, and then off a bye week taking it to Philly. I think that might actually be at home. But either way, Philly's a rough freaking game. So we got 2 rough games coming up. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, Philly's a tough assignment, home or on the road. Like, you don't want to play them.
So is Miami, man. Miami's in the AFC. They're on a freaking mission. They beat the Chiefs, and they're talking, So, I mean...
That game is for the conference.
And that one's in Germany, isn't it? That game's early morning Sunday.
Yep. But the same point that I made about Detroit, the exact same point. Let's talk about who Miami's played.
We've talked about it.
I want Dave's opinion. He might need to know this because I kind of went at Detroit. I'm going to go even harder towards Miami here, even though I will say congratulations, Tyreek, first person in the Super Bowl era to hit 1,000 receiving yards in 8 games. Good job, dude. Obviously, with how much we're talking about our fucking receivers right now, miss you. Miss you bad.
Dwayne Bowe put out a tweet the other day, and I was like, I got on Google. I was like, how old is this motherfucker? Like, can Dwayne Bowe still suit up?
Man,
he's in his garage pumping iron, like getting ready. Yeah.
He still looks good, man. He still looks good.
Y'all know all the memes and all the videos like Terrell Owens all the time. He's like, I'm ready to suit up, whatever. Like,
dude,
he's like 40, still trying to get a league. I'm like, hey man, we might actually need to call him and give him a veterans minimum right now. Like,
we need you to go up over one guy one time.
Oh, dude, yeah, let's get Ocho Cinco and T.O. out there, and we'll make it happen. Like, I'm about ready to. They need to call Coach Sanders and just get Dion out there at this point.
Foolish. That's enough. That is enough.
All right. I'm sorry, man.
Kick it all the way back to take Chris Collinsworth back so that he can get out of the booth and shut the fuck up every once in a while. Jesus,
that's my favorite quote on this show.
Get out of the booth and shut the fuck up.
Man, I know. I wonder how he's feeling with that. Like, anyways, yeah. I luckily I was at the game. I didn't have to hear Chris Collinsworth if he even was the announcer on the game of the Chiefs.
I'm
a Chiefs fan. I'm a Chiefs fan, but even I'm just like, yo, Chris, Mahomes is married, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that man's taken. All right. Anyways, Miami, who they've played, they beat the Chargers in a high scoring game. We'll give them that one. They beat New England
Chargers are
now
up and down.
twice because they just beat New
Yeah.
England again this week. They beat Denver, which apparently that's a fucking
Hard to do.
something we can't do. They got exposed by Buffalo, right?
Which,
They beat the Giants. They beat Carolina. And then they got exposed by Philly and only put up 14. So, like, when they play the big teams, they have not beat any team over 500. They haven't beat a team close. They haven't beat a team that has 3 wins right now. I'm sorry, the Chargers now have 3 wins after last night.
That's
but
a pretty
they have
good
not,
correlation. If Detroit, so Detroit is to the NFC what Miami is to the AFC. A team that, like, if you don't bring your shit, you're gonna get smoked. But if you're a good squad, like, you're gonna roll over them.
That's exactly
Right.
it. That's exactly it. Just how I bracketed the NFC. You've got a couple top teams, and then you've got some any given Sunday teams, and that's what Miami is an any given Sunday team.
Right, and a lot of their, like, I hate to say it because I really do like Miami. I like watching them. Like, they're fun to watch. I'm a Tyreek fan, of course, and a Mike McDaniel fan. But
he's so great. Their coach is amazing.
He's awesome. Yeah. But
Yeah.
a lot of those stats that make them historic is because they put up 70 on the Broncos and they put up fucking almost 2,000 yards in a day. Like, that was like, okay, it wasn't that much, but it felt like 2,000 in a day. It was about 1,000. But they, it's starting to even out because it's been a few weeks now. But that should happen in like week 4 or week 5. So it was almost like, oh my God, these guys have done so much this season already. It's like, yeah, you put 70 up in 1 week, you're just going to sway the averages a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I would argue that Detroit's got a better record because they have beat the Chiefs when they came right out. They lost to Seattle in a very high scoring game. I don't know. Did they play this year? That would be a nice matchup to see. But Detroit and Miami, I don't think they play,
though. No, because we got the schedule always confuses me, but I'm pretty sure we got AFC West, and I get confused. I forget.
I will say, most fun teams to watch, favorite coaches in the league. If the Chiefs weren't to make the Super Bowl, or Philly, because I got love for Philly, I would love to see a Dolphins-Lions Super Bowl. That would be awesome. That would be pretty sick.
Oh, dude, McDaniels and Campbell, shit.
Yeah, dude, that would be awesome.
That's good
to
times.
Watch.
It's good times.
2 teams who haven't won in a million years. Well, Detroit ever, but
yeah,
that'd be fun.
What did I see? We don't have a playoff victory in, I don't know, like this millennium. Like, it's just sad.
What was it? 1993.
I want to say 92. Don't quote me
92,
though.
92, 93 season, maybe.
We.
So I saw somewhere it was like this was like their 30 years. Like they do it exactly 30 years later or something.
Oof, that's hard. That's a long time, my dude. No, I remember we were playing good ball, and like we weren't like dominant or anything, but like Sanders is just he's the, and not just being a Detroit homer though, like Sanders is the best to ever lace him up. Like he's the most elusive running back to ever play the game of football. So
he's got the best highlight reel.
Oh, his reel is out of control. And so we got to the playoffs, and then like we won a game. We had a bye or something. We won a game, and then we got to the next round, and then was it Washington just like embarrassed us like 40-5 or something. That's exactly what it is for Detroit. Like we're really good against the teams that we should beat, and then we run up against somebody who is ready to go. And we're like, oh well, get them next year.
Right. No, I gotta say, man, I am rooting for him. I was a little butthurt after we lost to you guys in week 1, but like, honestly, now that we've lost another game, I'm like, dude, I'd much rather fucking lose to a team like Detroit. Fuck the Broncos. Fuck these teams with history. I want to see some. I like rooting for underdogs, man. So I would love to see you guys do something this year. I think you guys are a very respectful team, and Campbell's just cool as shit to watch. Like, how do you not like that guy?
He was tearing up on pregame again today when he was getting interviewed, talking about how guys who may not be the best or they get passed over, and then like he gives them a shot, and they give him their heart, and he was tearing up. It's like, oh man, how do you not go to the gates of hell for this guy? Like, I've always wanted like that kind of leadership in my life, you know?
Right. I saw a post. Somebody said something like, Dan Campbell is like an emotional Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I can't unsee it now. It's the funniest shit.
That's funny as hell. That's funny as hell.
So, what's the score of the game right now? Is it halftime yet?
We just hit halftime. Detroit went 3 field goals, and then the Raiders got a touchdown. And we scored a touchdown here at the end of the quarter. That was a pass to Laporta.
Nice. Nice. I traded Laporta and got me some good bait this year. What's the score? Is it 16 or 17 to 7?
16-7.
16-7. Nice. Yeah, you guys should pull this one out. Fuck the Raiders. But I'll tell you guys what, man. I don't know if you guys have them ready this week, Dave. We do this every week, man. So anytime you should come on, you should know we're gonna do it. We got surprises for the week, and then we'll get out of here. So if you need time to think, I'm going to throw it to Marengo first because he said he had something exciting for us. Marengo, what's your surprise this week?
Did you know that KU has a football team? Did you know that they have a football program? Holy shit, man. Because they came out and smacked a top 10 fucking Oklahoma Sooners team 38-33, and KU was not ranked at all. Jason Bean threw 2 fucking picks and then went off for like a 45-yard run to take the lead again. Like, KU got shellacked by Oklahoma State last week and then came out and beat a playoff contender, man. What in the fuck is going on at KU? Lance Leipold has got that team rolling. Everybody on here knows I'm a Wildcat fan for sure, and I'm excited as hell, more than I have been probably since I've been alive, for KU and K-State to play. But holy fuck, I'll give you a rock chalk for that week, man. Holy fuck. Congratulations to the Jayhawks. Keep it rolling. Y'all are going to get smacked by K-State, but Jason Bean's a hell of a quarterback. Jalen Daniels, I hope he recovers soon, because with Jalen Daniels in that offense, KU is a fucking scary team, man. So it's nice to see some competition back in Kansas instead of them just being a basketball school, man. Yeah, I had no idea KU had a football program until the last year or so.
Yeah.
But that's my surprise for the week,
amazing.
Man. That was absolute. I don't know if you guys watched that game, but that was one of the best college football games I have ever watched. It was fantastic. And obviously I'm biased because it was KU playing. It's a Kansas school, but damn good football. That was awesome.
I spent a lot of time in Lawrence, so I get it. But I'm still, every man's a Wildcat for me too, man. Like that's how we do.
Oh, boo. Sorry. My bad. I'll root for K-State behind KU though. You know, just
that's how I am. Just flipped. I'll always root for KU if they're not playing K-State.
Yeah, I got to root for the Kansas teams. I am happy that KU won. I wish I would have seen the game. I watched some highlights afterwards though, and like, dude, they were hype. I saw that the fans ripped down the field goal post and walked out with pieces. They took it with them. They just left with the field goal post.
The new one,
that was amazing.
The new field goal post was up before the morning.
They were ready.
There was a picture of the grounds crew putting up the new goalpost before the morning.
Yeah, that the intramurals class that came out there the next day didn't have to worry about anything. They were already ready.
They already knew, man. There's like, we got a decent football team. If there's even a chance, we just need one on standby.
Yeah, dude. No, that's a great surprise, man. And that Bean kid, he's doing really well. He's got a lot of rushing touchdowns, though. I feel like he's going to get that same criticism Lamar got whenever he came into the league. Oh, he's just a running back throwing the ball.
He's just really young. And he's kind of bounced.
True freshman, right?
No, this is his second season.
Second
But
season, okay.
he bounces in and out of the starting role. So, he hasn't really had a consistent, one's reps. And so once he gets there, I think he's great. Daniels right now, he's obviously the number one guy. Like, he could easily go in the draft. So as long as he gets healthy, maybe the door opens for Jason next year, but we'll see what happens. He's definitely a starting quarterback in college football, though. He's damn good at the position.
Oh yeah, Dave, it's your first prize of the season, so you got a lot to work with, man. Did you come prepared with anything?
Yeah, not even remotely.
Not even.
As we'll come to learn, I just fly by the seat of my pants at all times. That's the only way to do it.
Perfect.
No, I don't really have any surprises. I was thinking about, though, we were talking Dan Marino earlier, and I think he's the best to ever lace him up. But is he the greatest quarterback of all time? No, I mean, Brady wins. He was drafted way low, won all that he ever won. But I think even Joe Montana said that too. He was like, the best he saw was Dan Marino, but the greatest, because he won all the games, was Tom Brady. So I just don't want people to forget. Tom Brady is still in the fucking media all the time. Like he stopped playing football. Like, but people forgot about Dan Marino. Dan Marino was in what was that Jim Carrey movie he was in? Like, that was all he had. Media was different back then. But no, Dan Marino was really good. Anyway, that's all I had, was that I really liked Dan Marino, and
got had to show some love to Dan. No, I get you there. I would say one of, for sure. I don't know if I can say the best. That one's a tough one.
I think there's a difference. I think you can differentiate a little bit, because there's been so many people that are great at that position to where you can be. There's obviously, you got Tom Brady, who's got all the accolades to go with it. But you've also got some quarterbacks. I'd even put Phillip Rivers as one of those guys in the conversation, that the teams were never there. They couldn't ever put it together, but he was a damn good quarterback. Obviously, the talent was there. Everybody could see it. He just doesn't have the accolades to go with it.
Who wins the eye test? Fuck the stats. Who wins the eye test? You watch him and you're just like, that dude's a beast. Like, what
Marino.
I mean? And I would say, if not Marino, Dave's going to hate the answer here.
Don't do it.
But Brett Favre was a fucking goat, man. He was one of the best to do it.
His field,
yeah, but he's got some of the accolades to go with it too.
He does, but like, when you just watch him,
he also steals money from people. So
poor people.
From poor people.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I'm keeping it on the field, but I was thinking about doing a new segment called Off the Field, where we can talk shit about these other things. That's
honestly, with all the shit going on, probably.
Yeah, just so we can talk about all the felonies. But
we got a drink on that segment.
Yeah, no, you're right. All right, Off the Field. So we got I'm fucking around. No, man, my surprise. I don't even want to talk about Brett Favre anymore, man. Yeah, Dan Marino's the dude. Yeah. What, does he have a scandal yet? Jesus Christ, they found everybody by now. But
we were talking earlier that the Packers they had like 30 years of prime quarterback play. Like, they went, Bart Starr to Favre to Rodgers. It's out of control. Same with the Steelers and their coaching. They've had 3 coaches in 50 years. Like, to have that kind of like organizational strength is just like, I don't know, those fans have got to be like stoked, like, because the Chiefs been up and down, the Lions have been mostly down, but yeah, that's impressive. So, like, hats off.
Yeah,
I still think Mike Tomlin's the best coach in the league, by the way. Tomlin's number one.
Oh, for sure. We've said that on here a million times. Like, this guy's he's dragging Kenny Pickett to 9-8. Like, he's gonna find a way. He will drag him through the mud, but he will not be under 500. Like,
he was under 500 last year.
No, he wasn't.
The Steelers went under 500 last year.
No, they didn't.
Nah.
They were 9-8.
No? They got 9. Oh, excuse me. I apologize, Pittsburgh. I apologize.
Tomlin has not. He had 2 seasons where they went 8-8.
Yeah, he's never had a sub 500 season.
Never. Not one time.
That's absolutely nuts.
And, like, sure, for a lot of those years he had Big Ben, totally get it. But pretty much since Big Ben, his worst year has been 8-8, 9-8. Like, They even added an extra game. They're like, he keeps breaking even. Let's see if we can throw an extra. Nope. He's like, cool. Now I'm not even going to be at 500. I'll be over it. Like,
Can't be 500 anymore.
I think they did. No shit. I think they had an 8-1 season. The first year they did 17 games. Like, Google it. I might be wrong.
They had Mason Rudolph at quarterback for a little bit, so it is completely possible.
Hey, dude, look. Hey, hold on.
You want to talk about some struggling? Listen, we want to talk about some struggling franchises right now. Pittsburgh. Holy cow, man! That offense is just like you have to bang your head against a fucking wall if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan when you see your offense go on the field. Like, can we just play defense the whole game?
Yeah, dude,
can TJ just get an interception and run it back?
Just do direct snaps to TJ. That's it.
That's it.
Dude, fuck the Steelers. I respect the shit out of Mike Tomlin. I like Mike Tomlin.
Oh, for sure.
The Steelers. Unfortunately,
I hate the Steelers,
my whole life I've been able to say that the only time I've seen the Chiefs lose live is to the Steelers until fucking yesterday.
Dude,
so now it's fuck the Broncos, fuck the Steelers, but it was already fuck the Broncos. So
Eric Fisher's the best player the Steelers have ever had. I swear to God, he gave him like 50 yards every time we played him.
Don't get me started.
Every time the Chiefs played the Steelers, Eric Fisher gave him like 40, 50 yards. So he's the best. In my mind, he's the best Pittsburgh Steeler of all time.
Had I known when we got on here tonight that the 2016 playoff game against the Steelers, when Eric Fisher's bullshit was going to come up, I wouldn't have showed up tonight. Because you will get me on a tangent we do not have time for. That lives
rent free in my head. Like, I think about that to this day. That offsides penalty, I think about it to this day. Offside penalties,
losing a game to a team that only hits field goals. Yeah, fucking great. Thanks. Now I'm gonna be. Yeah. All right. Whatever. I'm ready for my surprise.
Yeah, hit your surprise. I need to plug this in real quick before it dies.
No worries, man. We're gonna close it out with this. We're already over on time by a long shot. Dave, I told you, or at least I think I did. It's easy to go over on time doing this. Like sometimes we shoot for 30 minutes, and next thing I'm like, oh man, we're at an hour 50.
Hey, it's been effortless. It's been great.
Yeah, dude, it rolls. Super glad to have you. So my surprise is it was gonna be the Broncos, but we already talked about it. That obviously surprised me, but I'll go with a new topic. 3 L's in a row for San Francisco. I understand they played a decent team in Cincinnati this week, but 3 in a row by San Francisco. What's going on? I thought they were the number 1 team in the league. Like, I'm not saying that as sarcasm. I genuinely thought they were the number 1 team in the league. I was afraid to play them. Still wouldn't want to run into them in the playoffs, but like, holy shit, man. Like, maybe I'm okay with that. I'd rather see them than Philly.
What is it that if Purdy's got Samuel and McCaffrey, then he's Tom Brady. But if he doesn't have those guys, he's, I don't know,
Brody Croyle.
Can you pick
Dude, did you guys watch any of the game?
Little
of the San Francisco game, because I tuned in at the perfect moment when they decided to throw up some stats, and they had a picture of Sam Darnold instead of Brock Purdy.
That is low.
Dude, at the end of it, they're just like, obviously that was Brock Purdy dressed as Sam Darnold for Halloween. I was I don't know if that was a stab or if that was a legit accident, but I don't know how you mess up like that. They do this every single week, man. So,
dude, I saw this is a little off topic because it was from the Broncos game, but I will say one of the funniest things I've seen. I forget his actual name, but I'm not a Broncos fan, so I don't know. They had a legend there. His name was Rick, like Buchanan or something like that. It was Rick something, right? So he was at the game, and they're doing this introduction to him for the Broncos, like getting all hype. They're on the big screen, and there's this like young dude, like 22, I think, and he's just like, yeah, so at the game we have Broncos legend Rich Buchanan, and the fucking dude, like, his name's Rick, and the guy just like, he's like a legend, you know, he's supposed to be a big deal, and the guy called him Rich, didn't correct himself, like, names on the screen, and the guy just like literally rolls his eyes, and he's just like, like waving to the crowd. He's just like, this fucking kid, dude. Like, sorry, I just thought of that when you said that. That was nuts.
That's awful.
It made me laugh. I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm cracking the fuck up. Like, can you imagine being at a Chiefs game and they're like, and here we go, or it's Priest Johnson. And you're just like, motherfucker, that's Priest Holmes. How do you fuck that up?
No, because Kansas City would fucking riot.
And we have Chiefs legend Jameel Charles. You're just like,
yeah, Kansas City would again riot. Whoever that was is not safe to go home.
Oh my god! It's Timothy Kelsey. Like, oh my god!
No, but that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen here though, because we love our team.
Yeah, no, you're right. That shit was funny.
You have legitimate correspondents who can actually do their jobs. That's nice.
Yeah,
Broncos. Yeah. They act honestly, since Walmart bought them, they act like that's where they get their players from as well. Like they just shop and get everything from Walmart. It's not good in Denver. I don't know what the hell their problem is.
And today we have in Detroit legend Bernie Sanders.
But you know what?
I'm sorry.
They somehow beat the fucking Chiefs this week, so who knows?
The weak side.
Oh my god! That I heard it in my head. I had to say it, bro. That was funny.
Oh, it was amazing. It was well done.
Oh man, no, dude.
They can't mess that up. They put a new Sanders statue outside of Ford Field now. They got a big old bronze statue of Barry, just doing it. Oh, it's amazing.
They absolutely should. They absolutely should.
I will say,
haven't been to Detroit in quite a few years, but they also they built a RoboCop statue somewhere. I gotta go see it.
What?
Honestly, I think the best of the statues has got to be Peyton Manning having two. He has one in Denver and one in Indianapolis.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both like. Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
I got a big ass forehead too. I'm punching up, but no, dude.
His brother busted him a couple weeks ago on the Manning cast.
That was so funny.
The cutout, and it was like all forehead.
Oh my god,
Marengo! If you didn't see that, you got to look it up, bro.
I gotta look that clip up. I did not see that.
Oh, no. It was amazing.
It's good.
No, dude. I will say Barry Sanders for the longest time, he was like my number one go-to. Like, okay, you want to go watch someone's career highlights? This is the guy. Like, go watch his. But I gotta say, man, that motherfucker Tyreek is coming for him. Like he's and I'm a little biased because he was a Chief and he started with us, but like, dude, he's like my favorite guy to watch, man. And like some of his stuff like is nuts. So he's not quite there, but Barry had a short career. It probably because I've also seen his highlight reel a million times. But Tyreek's building one, and like it's getting there.
Hey, with Reek, I didn't used to think that he was like that good. I thought he was just a burner. But man, kid can run a route. He's good. He's straight up good. Yeah, I can't talk shit.
Best yards after catch receiver in history. It's unfair to compare him to Barry because they're two different positions, but Tyreek by far best yards after catch receiver. Jerry is the only one you can even mention in this conversation.
Yeah, but Jerry has every record because he also, and we don't get me wrong, Jerry's the best to ever do it, but he also played forever. Like he just kept going and he kept getting 1,000-yard seasons when he would go to Oakland or whatever he was doing. Yeah. But no, yeah, Reek is something else, man. I really like him over in Miami. They have what a ridiculous receiving core over in Miami.
His last big touchdown for the Chiefs, man, I'll never forget, was that insane divisional matchup against the Bills. And it's supposed to be over. We throw a fucking slant route to Tyreek. He cuts it up the middle, goes up to the sideline. He's running. He's at the 15-yard line. He's got a defender 5 yards ahead of him, and he is facing the end zone and hits him with a fucking peace sign in front of him. He pieced the guy that was in the lead and fucking burnt on him, dude. Oh, it was nuts, man. That's probably my favorite. Bold. And then that was his last touchdown as a Chief. He peace signed a motherfucker that was 7-8 yards ahead of him and just blew right past him.
How you
I
go out
think
on top?
everybody, if anybody in Kansas City has anything bad to say about Kansas or Tyreek, it's just because he left the way he
Just
did. Like
because he left,
everybody,
bro.
everybody loves Tyreek here. If he was to come back, he would be welcomed with open arms. Everybody knows that. It's just the fact that he left it's just hurt feelings and some bullshit. Everybody wishes Tyreek the best. Everybody recognizes that kid's greatness. He's one of the
I
best for sure.
wonder. I wonder if
Honestly, I would put him up there with JJ as one of the best receivers in the league right now. He's
I
easily
wonder
top.
if we're
top
going to try to
2 or 3.
shut him down, or if they're going to go after Jalen because they know we're going to try to shut him down. But I will tell you right now, it's going to be such a bittersweet feeling when I see him do this shit to us, because you know he's going to get in there.
He will.
And if he doesn't, he's going to open the field up for Jalen, and they're going to beat our ass all day with other people.
Waddle's really good too. Like don't get me
Waddle
wrong,
is
like
very good, and Mostert's amazing too. Like they got weapons.
yeah,
And Tulane,
that's a tough assignment right there.
Yeah, we're not the home team either. Like it's in a neutral stadium. It's they love us in Germany though. I've been saying that they love it. Like watch, look in those stands. I'm not kidding. They gonna have more Chiefs fans in Germany. Watch.
Das ist gut, ja.
Das ist gut. Ich liebe dich, Mann.
Meine Deutsch ist nicht gut.
But no, man. No, man. I'm super excited for what's to come, man. Detroit should get this fucking win tonight. Congrats, Dave, on being in first place in our predictions. I'll have our week 8 scores tallied up after tonight's game. But I appreciate you boys jumping on, man. It's been a great time. We're already hitting about an hour. I'm about to jump off of here because my laptop is also dying. But yeah, seriously, thank you guys for your time. This was one of my favorite podcasts to record, and we will see everybody next week.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Fuck you, Dave.
Easy.